Hi, I'm the Declutter Homemaker, and I'm so glad you're here. I've always loved the kind of home that feels light to live in, not just clean, but calm. And over time, I've learned that real peace doesn't come from organizing more. It comes from needing less. There were nights I stood in my living room thinking, how many times have I cleaned this space this week? I wasn't lazy. I tried the bins, the checklists, the systems, but the clutter kept coming back, and with it, that low-level stress that made everything harder. What changed wasn't how I cleaned, but how I thought about what truly belonged in my home. Less chasing perfection, more choosing ease. That shift made all the difference. So in today's video, I'm sharing one simple habit that helped me step out of that cycle. It's small, but it's real, and it might be just enough to help you breathe easier in your space too. Let's begin. Let's start with something simple but powerful, giving each space in your home one clear purpose. Some days I couldn't figure out why I was so drained even though I barely left the house. Eventually I realized I wasn't tired because the space was small. I was tired because everything inside it was overlapping. The dining table was where we ate, but also where I dropped the mail, where my laptop lived, where my kids' homework sat, half finished, where a mug from 2 days ago still waited to be washed. Every time I walked past it, my brain whispered, "You should deal with this." Multiply that by 5 corners in one room, and no wonder I felt scattered all the time. So I asked myself, what if I gave each spot in my home one clear job? That became my shift. One space, one simple purpose. The table is just for eating. I placed a small tray near the door for mail. My laptop got its own little corner in the bedroom. No more bouncing from couch to kitchen counter to floor. When I cleared the table, removed the cords, the receipts, the half-read notebook, I left just a placemat, a small plant, and a clear surface. That night, dinner felt calmer. Like the room had exhaled, and so did I. When each space has a role, your mind gets to rest. You stop switching mental tabs. You sit to eat, and you're not ambushed by all the things you haven't done. The mess feels manageable because it's not everywhere anymore. And once that shift is in place, the next step is even smaller but more powerful than I expected. Just 5 minutes at the end of the day can quietly reset your whole morning. And once you've claimed one small space like that, the next question becomes, how do you keep it that way even on busy days or when everything feels like too much again? That's exactly what I'll share in tomorrow's video, a simple real-life approach to keeping your room clean and organized without turning it into another overwhelming task. It's the kind of video I wish someone had made before I wasted years restarting every weekend. So if that sounds like something your future self will thank you for, make sure to come back tomorrow. Next, let's move into a small evening habit that quietly resets your whole morning 5 calm minutes before bed. Most nights I used to leave the dishes in the sink, a towel slumped on the couch, crumbs on the table. I told myself I'd deal with it tomorrow. But the truth is, I woke up already annoyed because the mess from yesterday greeted me before the sun did. So I started doing one small thing, 5 minutes of tidying right before bed. No scrubbing, no reorganizing, just a soft reset. Here's how I began. After brushing my teeth, I set a 5-minute timer. In that time, I did exactly 3 things. I wiped the counter, I folded the blanket on the sofa, I rinsed the 1 cup I'd used all evening and put it away. That's it. When the timer beeped, I stopped. No guilt, no just one more. Why this works? Because it tells your brain the day is complete. You're not cleaning the whole house, you're simply closing the loop. And the next morning, instead of waking up to leftover tension, you get to walk into a space that feels ready. Not perfect, not magazine-worthy, just calm enough to breathe. And if you want that feeling to last, not just one morning, but every day, the next habit will make sure things stay in place without constant picking up. Now let's talk about something that can quietly steal your time and energy, things without a home. I once spent 30 minutes looking for my car keys. Sometimes they were on the dining table, other times buried in the wrong purse. One day I even found them under a pile of clean towels I hadn't folded yet. every time I ended up frustrated, blaming my memory, blaming my house, blaming the mess. But the truth was, it wasn't about memory. The real problem was this: my stuff didn't have a home. One small shift changed everything. I gave each item a designated place to return to. Keys go in the dish by the front door. The remote always goes on the coffee table tray. Scissors, pens, reading glasses, each one has a drawer or a corner or a container, not for the sake of aesthetic organization, but so I don't have to use my brain every day to find things that should already be in their place. I started with just one thing, a key tray. Every time I came home, even if my hands were full or I was distracted, I made sure to drop the keys into that same tray. After a week, I stopped losing them. Then, I gave my earbuds a drawer, my notepad a shelf, my chargers a pouch. Every item that kept going missing, I gave it a home. Suddenly, I no longer felt like a warehouse manager chasing down missing inventory, and my home started to feel calmer. Not because I cleaned more, but because my things stopped floating all over the place. Now, if you still feel like your home is too full, too much in every corner, maybe the problem isn't storage. Maybe it's time to keep less and choose more intentionally. That's next. Let's talk about a different kind of clutter, the kind that comes with guilt and obligation. Next, for years, I kept things I didn't even like. The blender I used once but felt bad throwing away. The sweater that was always too itchy but was a birthday gift. The set of plates I never touched but kept just in case guests came, even though guests never came. It wasn't just clutter, it was quiet guilt piled on a shelf. The shift I stopped asking, could I use this, and started asking, do I want to use this? If something made me feel heavy guilty or just indifferent, it had to go. Not in a big purge, not overnight, but one item at a time over many weeks. I chose to keep what I actually use, what I enjoy reaching for, and what fits my real present-day life, not the version I imagined or felt obligated to maintain. Here's what that looked like for me. I opened the drawer with 4 spatulas, kept the one I always grab, gave the rest away. I looked at the shelf with 7 mugs. I only ever used 2, the rest gone. And you know what surprised me? I didn't miss any of it, not even for a second. Because when you let go of things you don't truly need, what stays behind feels lighter, more loved, and easier to care for. Letting go isn't about being minimalist. It's about creating room to breathe. When every cupboard, closet, and surface isn't packed to the edge, you can move more easily, not just physically, but mentally. And once your home has less, you'll notice it stays cleaner longer. But even then, clutter can sneak back in, especially when small tasks pile up. That's why the next tip is all about timing. Here's a small shift that can clear up more mental clutter than you expect, the 1-minute rule. There's a kind of clutter that doesn't come from stuff, it comes from delay. The towel that's still on the chair, the tea spill you meant to wipe up, the socks you left on the floor because you'll deal with it later. But later rarely comes. Or, if it does, it comes when there's already a dozen other things waiting, and now the towel, the spill, and the socks have joined the mess and your mental to-do list. The shift is simple but powerful. If it takes under a minute, just do it now. Not because you're trying to be efficient, not to be a productivity queen, just to prevent tomorrow from becoming heavier than it needs to be. Here's how I started. I didn't set any big goals. I just promised myself if I spill something, I'll wipe it up right away. If I walk past the laundry basket and it's full, I'll carry it to the machine. It didn't feel like cleaning. It felt like closing tiny open loops that were quietly tugging at my brain. Because when you leave a trail of half-done things, your home becomes a list of what you haven't finished. But when you handle the 30-second tasks, the crumbs, the sock, the hair tie on the floor, you give yourself the gift of nothing hanging over you. It's not about doing more. It's about having less nagging you. And once you stop dragging little messes into tomorrow, you'll start noticing how much smoother your mornings can be, especially when you prepare ahead. That's the next shift we'll talk about. Now, let's talk about how to protect your mornings by preparing just a little the night before. Most of my rushed mornings weren't because I woke up late. They were because I woke up into a mess I hadn't dealt with the night before. Clothes still in the chair. Nothing planned for breakfast. No idea where the clean socks went. And then I'd spend the first hour of the day reacting instead of simply starting. The shift, prepare for tomorrow when today is still quiet. Not a big routine, just a few small decisions made ahead of time, so your morning self doesn't have to scramble. Here's what I do most nights: lay out what I'll wear. Check that the kitchen is clear, fill my water bottle. Sometimes I even set a spoon and bowl on the counter so I don't have to think in the morning haze. Each task takes seconds, but together they shape the kind of day I walk into. Because mornings are fragile and a little preparation protects your peace. It's not about being hyper-organized, it's about kindness. When your morning starts without missing keys or wardrobe meltdowns, there's more space for calm, or even just enough room to sit down and breathe before the day begins. And when you start your day clear, it's easier to carry that clarity into the rest of your home, including how you treat the things inside it. That's exactly what the next habit is about. This next habit isn't just about tidying, it's about how we treat what we choose to keep. I used to keep things out of guilt. The gift I never used but didn't want to waste. The broken item I planned to fix one day. The old favorite that no longer fit but still carried a memory. But I rarely looked at these things. I just moved them from one spot to another, never using them, just carrying them. Then I met someone who did something different. She thanked her belongings. Not aloud, just softly in her actions. She didn't hoard. She didn't toss things impulsively. She used what she had, and when she put something back, she did it gently, intentionally, almost like she was saying, "Thank you for being part of my day." That stayed with me, so I tried it. Not in a big spiritual way, just simple. After washing my favorite cup, I paused before putting it away. I noticed how it felt in my hands. I reminded myself, this little thing served me today. And gradually, the way I handled my stuff shifted. Because when we appreciate something, we naturally care for it. And when we care for it, we don't lose it. We don't let it pile up. We don't throw it into corners. It doesn't mean you have to be precious about everything. But when you stop seeing your things as clutter or chores and start seeing them as small companions, your home becomes warmer and lighter. That's what gratitude does. It softens the edges even in the mess. But sometimes even with care and awareness, stuff still builds up, which is why the next habit is one I use when I don't know what to do with something, but I know I'm not ready to let it go yet. Sometimes we're not ready to make a decision, and that's okay. Here's a gentle tool that helps the holding basket. There are always a few items in my home that make me pause. The gift I'm unsure about, the charger I think I might need, the old planner with a few blank pages left. I don't want to throw them out just yet, but I also don't want them lying around making every shelf look cluttered. So I created a rule: if I don't know what to do with it, it goes in the holding basket. It's just a small basket on a shelf, not buried in a closet, not hidden away, but also not in the middle of everything. This is where I place those maybe items. The things I'll decide on later, not because I'm avoiding, but because I'm giving myself space and keeping my home clear in the meantime. Here's how it works in real life. When I come across something and feel that hesitation, should I keep this instead of leaving it out or forcing a decision, I drop it in the basket. Then, once every few weeks, I go through the basket with fresh eyes. More often than not, I realize I didn't miss the item at all, and letting it go feels easy. And sometimes I'm glad I kept it. Either way, I made the decision with clarity, not stress. This habit helps because it removes guilt from indecision. You're not cluttering up the house, you're simply giving your brain a pause. And that pause is powerful. It keeps your surfaces clear without forcing emotional decisions before you're ready. Sometimes the best decluttering isn't fast or final. It's just a gentle step back, and the holding basket gives you exactly that. And once your home starts feeling clearer, it helps to protect a tiny part of it as your calm zone. That's what we'll talk about next. When the whole house feels like too much, don't try to fix everything. Just protect one peaceful spot. Some days, no matter how hard I try, the house just doesn't stay tidy. Laundry piles up, the kitchen's a disaster. Paperwork takes over the counter. And when everywhere feels messy, it's easy to shut down. I used to look around and think, what's the point? It's all chaos anyway. But then I tried something different. Instead of trying to clean everything, I protected just one spot. One small. No clutter zone, always clear no matter what. For me, it's the chair by the window. I don't let anything land there. No unfolded laundry, no shopping bags, no half-read books. It's my quiet space. I can sit down, sip tea, and breathe, even if the rest of the room is a mess. Some days, that little chair is the only calm I have. And that's enough, because it reminds me not everything is out of control. I still have one corner that feels how I want the whole house to feel. And from there, I can start again. Not out of guilt, just gently. This habit matters because overwhelm often comes from everywhere being too much. When you keep even just one space peaceful, you create a pause point for your nervous system. You give yourself somewhere to land when life gets loud. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to stay yours. And when that one space feels good, you'll be more motivated to carry that energy into the rest of your home, starting with how you bring new things in. That's what the final habit is about. Finally, let's talk about how to stop clutter before it starts with a soft, self-respecting boundary. Clutter doesn't always come from what's already in the house. Sometimes it's what keeps coming in, that cute bowl from the sale section. Another pair of leggings because they were such a good deal. A backup of a backup, just in case. Individually, none of these things feel like a problem, but over time they collect. And the house starts feeling heavy again, even when you've decluttered. The shift isn't to stop buying forever. It's to set a limit, a boundary that's soft but clear. For me, it was this: I only own as many hangers as I want to have clothes. If all the hangers are full, I don't buy a new shirt unless I'm willing to let go of another. No shame, no punishment, just a pause. You can do the same with mugs, makeup linens, anything that tends to multiply quietly. Maybe you decide one drawer is the limit, or one shelf. Whatever it is, you're not restricting yourself, you're creating a container that protects your space. Why this helps? Because most of us don't notice the tipping point until we're already buried in stuff again. This habit puts that awareness right where it's needed before the pile builds, before the guilt creeps in. It's not about having less for the sake of it. It's about choosing what gets to live with you and keeping your home a place where you can breathe. You don't have to change everything. Sometimes one small habit done gently over time is enough to make your home feel lighter and your mind feel less full. And if even just one thing from this video helped you breathe a little easier today, then that's more than enough. I also have a separate video that walks through how to declutter by area from the kitchen counter to your work corner. You might want to watch that one next if you're looking for a simple place to start. If this video felt helpful, you can click like just so I know what's really resonating with you right now. And if your next challenge is figuring out how to actually keep a space clean, not just tidy it, then tomorrow's video will walk you through exactly that. We'll talk about small rhythms that keep your room from spiraling again, even if you're tired or short on time. It's one of the most practical and calming videos I've made, so if you're serious about making clean your new normal, don't miss it.